My name is Jade Lacane and it's the 31st of January 2022. See that? For my study aid for the reproductive system, I decided to choose the determination of gender, genes versus hormones, with the male sex symbol and the female sex symbol. So what determines gender? Sex is determined by two factors, and that's hormones and chromosomes. So biologically, here we're talking about sex. And there is often confusion around the differences between gender and sex. Sex is, as I just said, the biological difference between male and female. So that would be the chromosomes, which are XX and XY. Hormones, which are estrogen and testosterone, which will influence gender, and the reproductive organs as a consequence of the hormones, which are the ovaries for the female and testes for male. So if the sperm that fertilizes the egg has an X chromosome, it will be female, and contrastingly, if it has a Y chromosome, it will be male, as the egg always has an X chromosome from the female. Gender, on the other hand, is what is expected by society of males and females according to their sex. So that is behaviors, the way you dress, all kinds of expectations of different genders. And then on the left, right, we have a diagram of mother, father, female child, and male child. And there, you will see in the next slide too, but there you can see the XX chromosome and XY and the differences in how they look. So, as I said before, these are female and male chromosomes, XX and XY. And here you can actually see the Y chromosome on the male is much shorter than on the female. That is because the X chromosome is much larger than the Y because they include many genes that are missing from the Y chromosome. So each cell of the human body has 46 chromosomes, or 22 autosomal match pairs, plus one pair of sex hormones, being the XX or the XY. They are located in the nucleus of each cell. Autosomal chromosomes determine eye colour, hair colour, all kinds of features that we have as grown individuals. But sex hormones are the XX and XY. So the XX is what biologically determines a female. And the genes inside that chromosome affect the production of female sex organs. On the other hand, we have the XY chromosomes, which is what genetically determines a male. As I mentioned, in both males and females, the X chromosome is always received from the mother. A Y chromosome is received from the father in an XY pairing through the sperm. So what about hormones? Hormones are chemical substances released by glands into the bloodstream, which we have learned throughout this course. However, these are the sex hormones. They are both the same in men and women, but they do differ in their amounts. They come in two forms, which are testosterone and estrogen. So testosterone is an androgen as well as estrogen, but testosterone is a male sex hormone. In males, it is thought to regulate libido, bone mass, and strength, just to name a few. As I said, it is found in females as well, but in much lower amounts. And a misbalancing of these can cause more masculine or feminine traits in either males or females. So if you could have two females and one could have high levels of testosterone, and that would probably make them have a deeper voice, more male traits. And there are certain conditions that can occur in humans through an imbalance of hormones. So estrogen is the female sex hormone, and said again, it both develops and maintains. In the males and females. However, estrogen in females develops and maintains the female reproductive system and female traits. And on the right, we have estrogen and testosterone as their chemical formula, diagrams. So you can see that they are actually composed chemically differently as well. So what does this mean for gender? The chromosomes determine the sex, and the hormones are what affects the production of reproductive organs and male and female features, which are secondary sex characteristics. So what we mean by this is biologically the chromosomes determine the sex, and consequently hormones are what affects the production of the testes or the ovaries, and the secondary sex characteristics, which are things such as body hair, how deep one's voice is, skin colour, all sorts of different traits that males and females differ on, height, etc. So here I have a word match, and let's have a look at that for a second and decide what you think matches what. So cells have what chromosomes? Cells have 46 chromosomes, as we mentioned before. They have 44 and one pair of sex hormones, the XX or XY. The female sex chromosome is the correct answer for that would be XX, XX chromosome. Gender is determined by, as we mentioned at the beginning, that would be society. Somebody's gender is determined by societal expectations and what we deem as male and female behavior, not the actual sex of an individual. The chromosome inherited from the father that determines male sex is, that would be the Y chromosome. So as we mentioned, the egg always has an X chromosome, and the sperm will either carry another X chromosome or a Y that will make the embryo male or female. And finally, the hormone that is dominant in males is sex hormone, and that would be testosterone. In females, it is estrogen. However, it does occur in both. So I hope that you learned something, and thank you very much for watching my study aid presentation on this fine January day.